Hi, welcome to another fantastic session, and this is SAHOO and you are watching SAHOO tutorial. In this YouTube video, I will discuss some multiple choice question on English literature for West Bengal state with some explanations, as I have earlier discussed and told that I am conducting 500 MCQ series for West Bengal state, and this is the fourth day of this series. So watch till the end because it is going to be a fruitful session. In the end, okay, I'm going to discuss some important works of important writers like David Lodge, Milan Kundera, Gabriel Garcia Marquez, as well as Salman Rushdie. So watch till the end. And so without wasting any time, let's begin the video. So here is the first question on your screen of today. Who wrote When a Poet's Mind is Perfectly Equipped of Its Work and It is Constantly Amalgamating Human Experience? When a poet's mind is perfectly equipped of its work, it is constantly amalgamating human experience. Is it T.S. Eliot, F.R. Leavis, I.A. Richards? None of these. So the right option here, T.S. Eliot. T.S. Eliot in his The Metaphysical Poets, The Metaphysical Poets, hmm, Metaphysical Poets, he wrote this line. So when a poet's mind is perfectly equipped of its work, it is constantly amalgamating human experience. So T.S. Eliot is the right answer. Okay, let's move to the next question. Burlesque, parody, travesty. Burlesque, parody, travesty. These are three terms. What is common among these three forms? These terms are the literary forms originated by a common writer, or various forms of satire, and commonly occur in the novel alone. So you know that burlesque, parody, and travesty, these are various forms of satire. So the option number B here is the right answer. So okay, move to the next question. Question number 118. The title of the novel Nectar in the Sea, that was written by Kamala Markandeya, has been taken from which poem of Coleridge? The title of the novel Nectar in the Sea, where the character Rukmani is the protagonist here. Rukmani is the protagonist, Nectar in the Sea, and this title has been taken from which poem of Coleridge? Was it from Kubla Khan, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, Work Without Hope, Christabel? So it is Work Without Hope. So the title of the novel written by Kamala Markanda is Nectar in the Sea, and its title has been taken from Coleridge, Work Without Hope. Okay, next question. Let's move to the next slide here. The 20th century is still the 19th, although it may in time acquire its own character. Who made this comment? Who made this popular comment? Is it T.S. Eliot, G.B. Shaw, Ezra Pound? None of this. The 20th century is still the 19th, although it may in time acquire its own character. So it was told by T.S. Eliot. It was told by T.S. Eliot. So option number A is the right answer. Okay, now the next question. Question number 120. Who was Milton's model? So Milton's model, when he recast the first edition of Paradise Lost in 10 books to 12 books of the second edition. So the first edition of Paradise Lost, first edition, first was published in 1667 with 10 books, and for the second time, okay, and second time it was Paradise Lost, second time in 1674 with 12 books. So first time it was published 1667, and after then 1674 with 12 books. First time it was with 10 books. But what was the model? Who was the model? Who was Milton's model when he recast the first edition of Paradise Lost in 10 books to 12 books of the second edition in 1674? So the model was it Lacan? Then Ovid, Virgil, Homer. So here Virgil was the model. Virgil was Milton's model when he recast the first edition of Milton's Paradise Lost into second edition with 12 books in the year 1674. Okay. Now move to the question number 121. Which of the following short stories by Edgar Allan Poe, the famous American writer Edgar Allan Poe, has a narrator who has a rival with the same name and uncanny physical resemblance? Who is that? The narrator who has a rival with the same name and uncanny magical physical resemblance. Hopfrock, William Wilson, The System of the Dr. Tar, and Professor Feather, or the Imp Reverts. So here the right option is that is William Wilson, who has the story has a narrator who has a rival with the same name and uncanny physical resemblance. So William Wilson is the right answer. Okay, now the move to the next question. 122. Match list 1 with list 2. So Ferdinand de Saussure, Edward Sapir, Jacques Derrida, Roman Jakobson. Now here works are these are works and these are authors and these are works. So two aspects of language and two types of aphasic disturbances of grammatology, codes in general linguistics and language. So Ferdinand, it is very easy that Ferdinand de Saussure has his book that is course in general linguistics, and Edward Sapir is about the language. He talks about language. Jacques Derrida has written of grammatology, and Roman Jacobson as that is two aspects of language and two aphasic disturbances. So in course, so of that of grammatology's translator, the original translator was Gayatri Chakraborty Spivak. Gayatri Chakraborty Spivak is the original translator of Jacques Derrida's of grammatology. So here that is, so which one is the right answer here? A is 4, E is 4 here, A is 4, B is 1, no, B is 4, no, sorry, Ferdinand Saussure A3, B4, yeah, A3, B4, and C2, Jacques Derrida is of grammatology, and D1, the one Jacobson, yeah. So the option number C here, that is this one is the right answer. Okay, now move to question number 123. Which of the following novels are part of Paul Auster's New York trilogy? Paul Auster's New York trilogy. Sorry, Paul Auster's New York trilogy. The Book of Illusions. No. Ghosts. Is it right? Yeah. The Locked Room. Yeah. Winter Journal. No. So, which of the following novels are part of Paul Auster's New York trilogy? That is घोस्ट एंड लॉक्ड रूम तो है, उसके साथ सिटी ऑफ ग्लास है. सो हियर ऑप्शन नंबर बी एंड सी, दैट इज हियर घोस्ट्स एंड द लॉक्ड रूम, they do belong to the part of Paul Auster's New York trilogy, whereas the Book of Illusions and Winter Journal do not belong. So let's have a look here. That New York trilogy is a series of novels by American writer Paul Auster, originally published sequentially as City of Glass. As I mentioned, that City of Glass is the first one. Then you have Ghosts, Ghost, Ghosts. Then you have the Locked Room. This is the trilogy. Consists of three novels. The Locked Room. So this is Paul Auster's 1, 2, 3, Paul Auster's trilogy, and it has since been collected into a single volume. The trilogy is a postmodern interpretation of detective mystery fiction and exploring various philosophical themes. So it was written by Paul Auster. Which figure explains the meaning of the play? The meaning of the play, which figure explains in Everyman at its conclusion at the end of the morality play, which character explains the meaning of the play? Was it angel, knowledge, doctor, good deeds? So it is very easy. The doctor at the end of the play, at the Renaissance play, that is the Everyman, that is morality play. At the end of the play, Everyman, doctor explains the meaning of the play to the reader, who in his preface to Joseph Conrad's The Secret Agent makes the following remark, that the achievement of modern art is that it has stopped or ceased to recognize the categories of tragic and comic, or the dramatic classifications of tragedy and comedy, and views of life as tragicomedy. Achha, the achievement of modern art is that it has ceased to recognize what? It has stopped to recognize the categories of what is tragedy and what is comedy, or the dramatic classifications of tragedy and comedy, but it views of life as tragicomedy. And views of life as tragicomedy. So who says this? Okay, was it told by August Strindberg's, Louis Pirandello, D.S. Lawrence, and Thomas Mann? So it was told by none other than the Thomas Mann, who wrote the Transposed Head. That inspired to write that inspired to write that is the famous writing of Girish Karnad's Hayabadana. Girish Karnad's Hayabadana. Then okay, then I move to the question number 126. Here, look at here, The Secret Agent, a Simple Tale. Its subtitle is Simple Tale. It was written by Joseph Conrad. The Secret Agent, a Simple Tale, first published in 1907. The story is set in London in 1886 and deals with Mr. Adolf Verloc. So who is the protagonist of The Secret Agent, a Simple Tale? That is Mr. Adolf Verloc is the protagonist. Okay, and his work as a spy for an unnamed country, which presumably Russia. The Secret Agent is one of the Conrad's later political novels. That was political novel Secret Agent, a Simple Tale, which has a subtitle that is Simple Tale, in which he moved away from his formal tales of seafaring, and Conrad's gloomy portrait of London depicted in the novel was influenced by Charles Dickens' Bleak House. The gloomy portion of London, the Joseph Conrad has depicted the city London gloomily. So that gloomy descriptions of London was influenced by Charles Dickens' novel, that is Bleak House. So this was a political novel written by Joseph Conrad, and where the protagonist is Mr. Adolf Verloc. The Secret Agent, a Simple Tale, to whom Joseph Conrad dedicated this novel, The Secret Agent. So the Secret Agent, its subtitle is a Simple Tale, and the Secret Agent, written by Joseph Conrad, and he dedicated to whom? Was it to E.M. Forster, Ezra Pound, T.S. Eliot, H.G. Wells? So he dedicated this novel to H.G. Wells. So the option number D is the right answer here, H.G. Wells. Okay, now move to question number 127. In honored poverty, thy voice did weep, song consecrate to truth and liberty. Deserting these, thou leavest me to grief. So grief, sorrow, these are lines from To Wordsworth. So who wrote the poem To Wordsworth? Who wrote the poem? Who is the poet here? So this is the name of the poem. The name of the poem is Wordsworth. To Wordsworth. So who wrote this poem? Was it Coleridge, Shelley, Byron, Keats? Coleridge, Shelley, Byron, Keats. So it was Shelley who wrote the poem To Wordsworth, and it has a line that have the lines like, in honored poverty thy voice did weep, song consecrate to truth and liberty, and deserting these thou leavest me to grieve. A lines from To Wordsworth, written by whom? Written by P.B. Shelley. Big Brother. The character Big Brother is found in which work? So Midnight Children, that was written by Salman Rushdie. Satanic Verses, 1984. None of these. So the character Big Brother appears in which authority person appears 1984. This is the name of the novel, which is a dystopian novel that is published in the year 1949, and it is a dystopian novel, and the Big Brother is authority person. It is written by George Orwell. So George Orwell is famous. Yeah, George Orwell. Okay, now move to the next question. Okay, this is the let's look up this slide here. 1984, also it is written as 1984, is a dystopian social science fiction novel and a cautionary tale by English writer George Orwell. It was published on 8 June 1949. It centers on the consequences of totalitarianism, mass surveillances, and repressive regimentation of people and behaviors within the society. Orwell, a democratic socialist, modeled the authoritarian state in the novel on Stalinist Russia and Nazi Germany. The story takes place in an imagined future in the year 1984. So it talks about an imagined future, and the date is the year is 1984, when much of the world is in perpetual war. So they were engaged in perpetual war. Great Britain, now known as airstrip 1. So Great Britain, now known is the other name of here Great Britain, is now known as airstrip 1, and has become a province of totalitarian superstate Oceania. And who is the leader of that superstate Oceania? Big Brother. And Big Brother, the character, is the superstate Oceania, is the totalitarian government led by, and leader is Big Brother, a dictatorial look here, a dictatorial leader supported by an intense cult of personality, manufactured by parties thought police. In this novel, you will see some phrases have been coined here. The protagonist is here Winston Smith, who is a diligent mind-level worker at the Ministry of Truth, who secretly hates the party and who dreams of rebellion. And it is popularized, this novel has popularized the terms like Orwellian and as an adjective, with many terms used in the novel entering common use, just like Big Brother, the word Big Brother, Orwellian, double think, thought police, thought crime. Yeah, so the phrase like double think, Big Brother, thought police, thought crime, thought police, thought crime, double think, Big Brother, newspeak, newspeak, and 2 plus 2 equals to 5. So these are phrases that have been popularized by Orwell in this novel 1984, which is a dystopian novel published in the 1949, dystopian social fiction. Okay, now move to question number 129. They also serve, this is the end line, this is the concluding line of which poem? They also serve, who stand and wait, are lines by Milton, Aristotle, Sylvia Plath, Shakespeare. So these are lines by Milton, and he wrote it in his sonnet, that is on his blindness. This is the ending line, this is the concluding line of the sonnet, that is on his blindness. When I consider how my life is spent, this is the other name of the sonnet, that is on his blindness. Is one of the best known of the sonnets of John Milton. It concludes with the line that they also serve, who only stand and wait. So this is the ending, the concluding line of the poem on his blindness, written by John Milton. Okay, who wrote the following line? The desire of the moth for the star of the night for the morrow, and the devotion to something offer from the sphere of our sorrow. So who wrote the following lines here? The desire of the moth for the star of the night for the morrow, and the devotion to something offer from the sphere of our sorrow. So sorrow, morrow, these are lines from Shelley. What is Shelley? Byron, it is by Shelley. Shelley wrote this line. Okay. So okay, now move to question number 131. Look at here, these lines are actually from the poem One Word is Too Often Profaned, and profaned means here abused. Profaned means abused. What? Abused or misused. So these are the lines, the desire of mouth for the star of the night for the morrow, and the devotion something afar from the sphere of our sorrow. So these are lines from Shelley's poem, that is one word is too often profaned. Then that is, and which one is the word? The Shelley means to say that the word in this poem, love, he talks about love here, it's so often misused and abused that it cannot be further abused by his making use of it. So the word love has been cheapened and vulgarized by being constantly used in the literary works. So one word is too often, and which one is the one word? It is the word the love. That's why he is not using the word love here. Okay, frailty, thy name is women. Frailty, thy name is women. This phrase or this sentence appears from which famous Shakespearean play? Was it Hamlet, Tempest, As You Like It, King Lear? So it is from Hamlet. Okay, now to question number 132. Which two poems in the following list are odes written in the Horatian manner? So Horatian ode or in the Horatian manner or in the Horatian ode. Which two odes? Ben Johnson's The Immortality, Memory, and Friendship of the Nobel pairs Sir Lucas Carey and Sir is Mauritian? No, it is not written. So Andrew Marvell, yeah, Andrew Marvell upon Cromwell's return from Ireland, it was written in Horatian ode. It was written in Horatian manner. So that is upon Cromwell's return from Ireland by Andrew Marvell. And Alexander Pope's on Solitude, ode on Solitude. This was also written in the manner of Horatian, in the Horatian honor, Horatian ode. So Alexander Pope and the Andrew Marvell's Alexander Pope's ode on solitude as well as Andrew Marvell's upon Cromwell's return from Ireland have been written in the manner of Horatian. So option number B and C is the right answer here. B and C. B and C is the right answer here. An elephant tension ode on the death of the Duke of Wellington, it was not written in Horatian. So B and C is the right answer. Okay. Match the list one with list 2, that is concepts and theorists. Concepts and theorists. So here is the competence or performance, signifier and good here. So competence and performance, signifier, metaphor, metonymy, and content and expression. Here is Noam Chomsky, Roman Jacobson, Louis Helmslov, Ferdinand de Saussure. So it is very easy. The signifier and signified related to these three terms related to Ferdinand de Saussure. So B equals to B4. Then a metaphor and metonymy is that is Roman Jacobson. That is Roman Jacobson. It is Roman Jacobson. And competence is mental ability. That is Noam Chomsky. Okay. Competence and performance is Noam Chomsky, and content and expression is these concepts were given by Louis Helmslov. So here D3, where is D3? D3C2. So the last A1, that is A1, yeah. So the option number D is the right answer. A1, B4, then C2, yeah, and D3, yeah. So option number D is the right answer. Here, competence and performance, that is given by Noam Chomsky. Signified, very easy. Ferdinand de Saussure, metaphor, Roman Jacobson, and content and expressions, these were given by Louis Helmslov. Okay. Here is some details about this. That linguistic, what is competence? Competence means the linguistic competence. Okay, is the system of unconscious knowledge that one knows when they know a language. It is distinguished from linguistic performance. Now, there is a difference between linguistic competence as well, linguistic competence and linguistic performance. And linguistic performance includes all other factors that allow one to use one language in practice, practically use karna. That is performance. And competence is the system of unconscious knowledge that one knows. So the term linguistic performance was used by Noam Chomsky in 1960 to describe the actual use of language in concrete situation. When you use the language, the actual use of language in concrete situation is the performance, and the unconscious knowledge that you possess is the competence. It is used to describe both the production, yeah, this is the production, the actual use, sometimes it's called parole, that is the when you are using, as well as the comprehension of language. So performance is defined in opposition to competence. The latter describes the mental knowledge that a speaker or listener has of language. So the which one is? It is the competence is the mental knowledge that a speaker or listener has of knowledge, has about language. So the mental knowledge about a language is the competence, whereas the actual concrete use of language in concrete situation is the language competence. And these theories or these concepts were given by Noam Chomsky. Look at here, that is Louis Helmslov founded the Copenhagen Linguistic Circle, attempting to render more rigorous and clear Saussure's general theory of language and semiotics. In particular, Helmslov remembered as the inventor of glossmatic, that is glossmatics, and for having given a new rigor to the notion of connotation. to meaning. Expression and content we find are also the two inseparable functives of sign function. He is also famously known for each that is prolegomena to a theory of language. It was written by whom? Louis Stoll Helmslab. His best known work. A language is both a sign system as well as a process of realization. He says there. So this is about Louis Stoll Helmslab. Which word is referred in Shelley's poem? That is, one word is too profound. Which word? And is which word? Love, hatred, sorrow, melancholy. So it is love. The word love is hatred. The word is too open, abused, or misused. The poem was intended, and it was intended for whom? It was intended for Jane Williams. So it was intended for Jane Williams. That is, one word is too often profane. Shelley here intended dedicated this poem to William. That is William. That is look at here. Which one? Yeah, Jane Williams. Yeah, Jane Williams intended to write it for Jane Williams. He has written many poems and Jane Williams intended her. Okay. The poem was intended for Jane Williams. It expresses Shelley's deep and genuine devotion for her. Shelley wrote a number of poems devoted to Jane, including With a Guitar, to Jane, One Word is Too Often Profaned, to Jane, The Invitation, to Jane, The Recollection of to Jane, Recollection and to Jane, The Keen Stars Were Twinkling. So, in one word is too often profaned, Shelley rejects the use of the word love to describe his relationship with Jane. He says that this word has been so often profaned, so often misused, that he will not use it to describe the relationship. So he then goes on to say that the usage of this word may be rejected by Jane herself, and that his feelings for her too pure to be falsely disdained. So one word is too often profaned was intended for whom? It was intended for Jane Williams. Who wrote this poem? P.B. Shelley. In his self-reliance, immersion, self-reliance, which two qualities does Emerson refer as the chancellors of God? Which two qualities are the chancellors of God? Truth, cause, spirit, effect. Is it? And it is cause and effect. So B and D. So B and D here. So D option is here. That cause and effects are referred as the chancellors of God. By Self-Reliance was the famous poem written by the American poet, that is the transcendentalist, that is Ralph Waldo Emerson. Among the romantic poets, William Blake was a total artist. Okay, he was a total artist, undertaking many roles usually separated. In his last years, he produced some of the finest engravings, because he was a painter, artist, engravings, and which of the following is not illustrated? Which of the following was not illustrated by Blake? The Book of Job, the Rape of Leda, Virgil's Pastorals, the work of Dante. So it is, he has engraved the Book of Job, it is right. The Rape of Leda, Virgil Pastorals, he has engraved it, and the works of Dante. So works of Dante and Virgil's Pastorals and the Book of Job, but he has not engraved the Rape of Leda. So the right option is here B. So Rape of Leda is the right answer. The Rape of Leda, that William Blake, the visionary poet, hasn't engraved. Okay, in defense of poesy, what arguments does Sydney make for considering the biblical Psalms poetry? So in defense of poesy, what arguments does Sydney make for considering the biblical Psalms poetry? They are written in a meter. They originated in church choirs. They were written by a single author. So they were written by a single author, or David uses imagery and personification to portray the faith. So it is, that is, they were written in a meter. They were written in meter, and they were written by a single author. So 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 is the 1 and 3. So 1 and 3, that is the right answer here. So they are written in meter. They were written by single author. So depends on poesy, what arguments does Sydney make for? So 1 and 3, that is option number B is the right answer here. Okay, now to question number 138. In which Aristotle's poetics, Which Aristotle's poetics translation, poetics is considered as classic. It's considered as classic. So was it by Ingram Bywater, Butcher, Yeats, Eliot? So the right option here is Ingram Bywater. Ingram Bywater's translations of Aristotle's Poetics is considered as classic translation. So it was the right option here, Ingram Bywater. Okay. Please, if you like the video, do subscribe my channel and share with your friends, and do let them know, and tap the bell icon to get more notification about the video that I will upload in future. And do not forget to hit the like button. Okay, let's move to the next question. Question number 139. Who is the author of Memoirs of the Life of Sir Walter Scott? The Memoirs of the Life of Sir Walter Scott. Who is the author? John G. Lockhart, Henry Hallam, William Gobbett, none of these. So here that is the Memoirs of the Life of Sir Walter Scott was written by John G. Lockhart. John G. Lockhart. So question number 140. What is the Threnody? What is Threnody? Threnody. Threny. What is Threnody? Victory song, marriage song sung at death, song sung at birth of a son. So Threnody is a song sung at death. So question number 140 का जो आंसर ओरिजिनल जो सही आंसर है क्या है? C है. That is song sung at death. Okay, 141. According to Arnold, what is lacking in Chaucer? What does Chaucer lacks? What does Chaucer lack according to Arnold? Good language, high seriousness, the touchstone method, the lyrical quality. So here the Chaucer lacks high seriousness. Question number B. 140 का 141 का so option number B is the right answer. So Arnold says that the Chaucer lacks high seriousness in his writing. Now 142. Rukmani, the character Rukmani. Rukmani is the protagonist of which novel of Kamala Markanda? Nectar in Sieve, the Golden Honeycomb, Some Inner Fury, A Handful of Rice. So Rukmani is the protagonist of the novel that is Nectar in Sieve. Nectar in Sieve, that was written by Kamala Markanda. Rukmani is the protagonist of the novel Nectar in Sieve, and its title has been taken from Coleridge's Work Without Hope. Work Without Hope. Work Without Hope. And in the Golden Honeycomb, you will get the characters like Bajirao 1, Bajirao 2, and Bajirao 3. A handful of rice begins sweet. That is, I want the famous line that I am hungry, I want meal. A handful of rice will become a merchant. Okay, 143. For which novel did Amitabh Ghosh refuse the common letter space? For which novel did Amitabh Ghosh refuse the common letter space? Was it The Glass Palace, In an Antique Land, The Hungry Tide, The Shadowland? So Amitabh Ghosh rejected his communal letters prize for this novel, that is The Glass Palace. The Glass Palace, where the character Rajkumar Raha appears. Rajkumar Raha is the protagonist of this novel, that is The Glass Palace. And for this novel, okay, he has refused to accept the communal letters prize. So A is the right answer. And in an antique land is set in Egypt. In an antique land is set in Egypt. The Hungry Tide is set in Sundarban, where the characters like Pia Leroy appears, Fakir appears, the Shadowland, the famous Shadowland, where you will get the Trideep is the main protagonist. The communal raids World War II and Swadeshi movement. These were the backgrounds of this novel. Okay, look at here. Now, for which, yes, Amitabh Ghosh won the Sahitya Academy Award. For which novel? So, for which novel Amitabh Ghosh won the Sahitya Academy Award, the most prestigious award in India? The Shadowlands, the Hungry Tide, the Glass Palace, the Calcutta Chromosome. Yeah, so he got the Sahitya Academy Award for his novel, that is the Shadowlands. For his novel, and the Calcutta Chromosome is based on Roland Ross. It's Ronald Ross. The theory of Ronald Ross. A Glass Palace, he rejected communal letters prize, the Hungry Tide, Sundarban, and the Shadowlands. For Shadowlands, he got the Sahitya Academy Award. So let's have a look here. That is, the novel is set against the backdrop of historical events like Swadeshi movement. I have earlier mentioned that Swadeshi movement, Second World War, partition of India, and communal dates of 1963-1964 in Dhaka and Calcutta. So the novel earned Amitabh Ghosh the 1989 Sahitya Academy Award, and it has two parts, that is going away. Going away is the shadow lines has two parts. One is going away and another is coming home. Coming home. So going away and coming home, it has two parts. So the novel follows the life of a young boy grows up in Calcutta, who is educated in Delhi, then follows with the experience he has in London. So Tridip is the protagonist of this novel. Tridip is the protagonist of this novel, is a middle class boy who grows up in middle class family, and he is the narrator's uncle. So then who is the narrator's uncle? The narrator's uncle is Tridip. It is about the story of Tridip and who loves May, who is from the Price families, who is the Price family's daughter. The name of the family is Price family, and their family's daughter is May. And Tridip loves whom? May. So this is a Tridip and May's story, the Shadowlands. And for this work, Amitabh Ghosh was awarded with the most Indian prestigious award, that is Sahitya Academy Award, in the year 1989. The critical concept of willing suspension of disbelief. The willing suspension of disbelief, okay, owes its origin to chapter number which? Chapter dash of Biographia Literaria. So this is by Coleridge. There is 9, 14, 12, 12 and 15. So it is 14. So the phrase like willing suspension of disbelief owes its origin to chapter 14 of Biographia Literaria, that was given by whom? Coleridge. So question number 146 is coming now. So when Lungi Pirandello's 6 characters in search of an author, this is the novel, Lungi Pirandello's 6 characters in search of an author opens the audience and find the producers attempting the stage plays. Opens the audience and find opens when Lungi Pirandello's 6 characters in search of an author opens, the audience find the producer attempting to stage a play. Now what is the title of the play? The rights of performance, rules of the game, tonight we stage play, modes of acting. So it was rules of the game. So here the producer was attempting to stage a play, that is rules of the game. In the novel, in 6 characters in search of a author, written by the Lungi Pirandello. Okay, now move to question number 147. So who was the hero in mind of Browning while he was writing or compiling the poem Patriot? When he was writing the poem Patriot, okay, to whom he was thinking, he was thinking about Joan of Arc, Arnold of Brescia, Galileo, Saint Peter of Rome. So it was Arnold of Brescia. Arnold of Brescia is the right answer here. So Browning was thinking about Arnold of Brescia. So when he was writing the poem, that is Robert Browning, it is a dramatic monologue poem. It is Patriot. Browning. Blow, 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 thou winter wind, thou art not so unkind as man's ingratitude. Thy tooth is not that keen. That is from play by Shakespeare. As you like it, Tempest, King Lear, Winter State. So these lines appears in the poem, in the play, as you like it, as you like it. Okay, now to next question, question number 149. Name the novel that ends with these lines. Okay, unbroken tranquility had been accorded in the adult stage. Watch Sihu's youth had seemed to teach that happiness was but the occasional episode. Look at here, happiness was but the occasional episode in a general drama of pain. So happiness was but the occasional episode in a general drama of pain. So this was the concluding line of which novel? Mayor of Casterbridge, Jude the Obscure, Desperate Remedies, Far from the Madding Town. So it was the concluding line of the Mayor of Casterbridge. The Mayor of Casterbridge. Okay. So this is the right option here. Question number 150. Who among the following displays in her best work the dual influence? One is feminism plus magic realism, feminism as well as magic realism. In which work you will find Pat Barker, Muriel Spark, Angela Carter, J.K. Rowling? So it is the Angela Carter. The option number C is the right answer here. And you know that J.K. Rowling is the Harry Potter series, who wrote the Harry Potter series. J.K. Rowling. Okay, displays in her best work the dual influence of the feminism, that is magic realism. There is Angela Carter. Magic realism is a style of literary fiction and art. It paints a realistic view of the world while also adding magical elements, often blurring the lines between fantasy and reality. And magic realism often refers to the literature in the particular with magical or supernatural phenomena presented in otherwise real world or mundane setting, commonly found in the novels of dramatic performance. Okay, so other proponents like they are the proponents like Milan Kundera. So here is Milan Kundera. Milan Kundera, Kundera, Milan Kundera, Gabriel Garcia. Then you have Gunter Grass. Okay, then the author of Midnight Children, that is Salman Rushdie. So they were the famous magic realist writers. Okay, Gabriel Garcia, Gunter Grass, Milan Kundera, Gabriel Garcia, and Salman Rushdie. Okay. Okay, now move to question number 151. Who wrote the novel The Book of Laughter and Forgetting? The Book of Laughter and Forgetting. So Gunter Grass, Salman Rushdie, Gabriel Garcia, Milan Kundera. They are four the magic realist writers. Okay, so Gunter Grass, Salman Rushdie, Gabriel Garcia, and Milan Kundera. So who wrote the novel The Book of Laughter and the Forgetting? So it was written by Milan Kundera. So option number D is the right answer. Milan Kundera is the right answer. So Milan Kundera is the right answer. Okay, now move to question number. Now next slide. Go to next slide here. The Book of Laughter and Forgetting is a novel by Milan Kundera published in 1979 in France. So it is composed of 7 separate narratives united by some common themes. The book considers the nature of forgetting as it occurs in history, politics, and life in general. So the story also contains elements found in the genre of magic realism. So the Book and Laughter of Forgetting is the famous novel written by Milan Kundera, the magic realist writer. Okay, he says that Milan Kundera says that he sees himself as a French writer and insists his work should be studied as French literature and classified as such in bookstores. Kundera's best known other work is The Unbearable Lightness of Being. So his other best or the famous work is The Unbearable Lightness of Being. The Unbearable Lightness of Being is also another famous novel written by Milan Kundera. Okay. Who is the author of the novel The Witches of Eastwick? The Witches of Eastwick was written by John Updike, Milan Kundera, Gunter Grass, Gabriel Garcia. So it was written by The Witches of Eastwick. So this is the name of the place where the witches appear. So it was written by John Updike. John Updike wrote The Witches of Eastwick. Okay. Now move to question number. Now let's have a look at here. That the story set in the fictional Rhode Island, that is the Witches of Eastwick, town of Eastwick in the early 1970s. It follows the witches Alexandra Spoport, Jane Smart, and Suki Rogmant, who acquired their powers after their respective marriage end. So this is about the Witches of Eastwick. The Witches of Eastwick. Okay, but John Updike also has written the Rabbit series, the novels like Rabbit Run, Rabbit Redux, Rabbit is Rich, and Rabbit at Rest, and the novella Rabbit Remembered. So Rabbit Run, Rabbit Redux, Rabbit is Rich, and Rabbit at Rest. So the life it chronicles the life of the middle class everyman, that is Harry Rabbit. Okay, now Angstrom over the course of the several decades, Harry Robert Angstrom over the course of several decades from young adulthood to death, both Rabbit is Rich, so the third one and the fourth one, Rabbit is Rich and Rabbit at Rest, were awarded the Pulitzer Prize. So American, the most famous or the prestigious awards in America, that is the Pulitzer Prize. So Rabbit is Rich and Rabbit at Rests, they own him the Pulitzer Prize. That is John Updike, who has also written The Witches of Essex. The Witches of Essex. Okay. Now move to the who wrote the novel. This is a novel. The Prince and Pauper, and the pauper means very old, very poor, very poor. very poor. So the who wrote Prince and the Pauper, that is Mark Twain, Oscar Wilde, and Jane Austen, George Eliot. So the novel The Prince and Pauper was written by Mark. It's a historical novel. It was written by Mark Twain. The Mark Twain wrote the novel, that is The Prince and the Pauper. Okay. Now move to the next question here. Question number 154. Okay, let's have a look at this slide. The Prince and the Pauper is a novel by American author Mark Twain. It was first published in the year 1881 in Canada, and the novel represents Twain's first attempt at historical fiction. That is set in 1547. It tells the story of the two young boys who is very poor on the same day, were born on the same day, and are identical in appearance. That is Tom Canty. Tom Canty, a pauper who is a very poor, who lives with his abusive alcoholic father in awful court of Parding Lane in London, whereas the other is Edward VI of England. The son of Henry VIII of England. So the two, one is the prince and another is the very poor, that is the pauper. And who is the pauper here? The pauper is a Tom Canty. The pauper is here the Tom Canty. The pauper is about Tom Canty and the prince is here Edward the Sixth. Edward VI of England. So the Prince and the Pauper, it was written by the American famous novelist Mark Twain, who wrote the Huckleberry Finn. The Art of Fiction is a book of literary criticism. The Art of Fiction is a book of literary criticism by the British academic and novelist. Who is he? Henry James, William James, Paul Auster, David Lodge. So the option number D, that is David Lodge, has written The Art of Fiction. David Lodge, Art of Fiction, which is a book of literary criticism. David Lodge. Okay, who wrote? So this is the end. This is the last question of this series. Okay. So who wrote the novel, that is Agnes Grey? Emily Bronte, Charlotte Bronte, and Bronte, Jane Austen. So it was written by Anne Bronte. And Wuthering Heights, Emily Bronte wrote Wuthering Heights, whereas Charlotte Bronte wrote Jane Eyre, and Anne Bronte wrote the novel, that is Agnes Grey. It is about Agnes Grey. It is autobiographical novel. The Experience of Governess. Agnes Grey novel is the debut novel of the English author Anne Bronte, and who wrote under the pen name was Acton Bell. Agnes Grey is also an autobiographical novel with strong parallels between its events and Anne's own life as a governess. So she used to be a governess. So this is the experience of governance has helped him to write this novel, that is Agnes Grey, a novel. It's a debut novel of him. So thank you once again for watching my video. Do subscribe my channel and share with your friends. If you like my videos, hit the like button and tap the bell icon to get more notifications about the videos that I will upload in future. Thank you once again and have a good evening.